checkers. You know it, I know it. Or maybe you call it drafts. It's one of those games that just seems like it's always been there, right? A classic. But what if I told you that simple, familiar game is hiding a secret history? A much older, way more intense story that spans the entire globe. Well, let's peel back the layers on this household favorite. See, the game we play today didn't just appear out of nowhere. No, it's a descendant. It's the product of evolution, a hand-me-down from an ancient game of pure strategy that traveled from the Middle East, made a pit stop in the royal courts of Spain, and then, pretty quietly, went on to conquer the world.
And here it is. Take a look. On the left, you've got the checkers board we all recognize, and on the right, that's its ancestor, Alquerque. Now, I know, it looks different. It's played on intersecting lines, not squares. But look closer. The setup, the two armies facing off, you can totally see the family resemblance. This is the game's original DNA.
So, if we really want to understand checkers, we've got to go back. We have to decode the source code, the rules of its ancient predecessor.
The name itself, Alquerque, is just the Spanish take on the Arabic name Alquerque, and for more than 1,000 years, this was a top-tier strategy game. We're talking no dice, zero luck, just pure uncut skill. It's a game of perfect information, which means you can see everything on the board. So yeah, when you lose, you've got nobody to blame but yourself.
And right away, you're going to see something that feels really familiar. The main way you get ahead in this game? Capturing your opponent's pieces by jumping over them into an empty space. It's that same short, tactical leap. Simple, elegant, and absolutely deadly.
Okay, but here's the twist, and it's a big one. This is what makes Alquerque so incredibly aggressive. If you can make a capture, you have to. You literally have no choice. Think about that. You can't play defensively. You can't just build up a wall and wait. This rule forces you into a fight right from the very start.
And this leads to something that seems totally backward. Get this. Because the board is so packed, and because captures are mandatory, going first is actually a disadvantage. It's a trap. Your very first move has to expose a piece to being captured. And this isn't some new discovery. Scholars were writing about this over 700 years ago, and yep, modern AI has confirmed it. Now, for a long time, people thought this game was ancient Egyptian, and it's because they found these game grids carved into a temple at Kurna, dating way, way back. But, a bit of historical detective work revealed a twist. Turns out, those carvings probably weren't from the pharaohs at all. They're more like medieval graffiti, left by visitors much, much later. So that shifts the whole timeline forward by almost 2,000 years.
Okay, so if it's not from ancient Egypt, then how in the world do we know the rules so perfectly? Well, the answer comes to us from one absolutely incredible medieval book.
This is it, the Libro de los Juegos, the Book of Games. It was commissioned back in 1283, and it's basically our Rosetta Stone for all these old games. You can think of it as the world's very first strategy guide, spelling out all the rules for the nobles in Spain.
And what's so cool is that the book shows us how Alquerque wasn't just one game. It was a whole family of games. It was super versatile. There was a 3-piece version, Alquerque de Tres, which is a direct ancestor of tic-tac-toe, the 9-piece version, that became the game we know as Nine Men's Morris. And then there was Alquerque de Doce, the 12-man version. And that's the one that was about to change everything.
And this brings us to the big moment, the great leap forward, literally and figuratively, that transformed Alquerque into the game that's probably sitting in your closet right now.
Sometime around the 12th century, some players in Europe had a stroke of genius. They thought, hey, what if we tried playing this on a chessboard? That single idea led to 3 massive changes. 1, the game jumped from playing on the lines to playing in the squares. 2, movement got restricted just to the diagonals. And 3, the absolute game changer, the idea of promotion. Getting a piece to the other side of the board meant it became a king.
And you can actually track this evolution just by looking at the name. At first, they called the new game Fjorge. That was the name for the medieval chess queen, which, back then, was a really weak piece that could only move one space diagonally. Sound familiar? But then, the queen in chess got a major power-up, becoming the strongest piece on the board. So, the name of this new game changed too, to Jeu de Dames, the game of ladies.
But here's the thing. The story doesn't just end with checkers. Not even close. Alquerque's influence spread far and wide, creating a whole global family of games.
People started using the very same board to play a totally different style of game, the hunt game. In one called Cercar la Liebre, or Catch the Hare, it's not a fair fight.
You've got 12 hunter pieces trying to corner one super powerful hairpiece. It's this awesome game of teamwork and trapping versus pure evasion.
And just look at this incredible diversity. In Madagascar, the game evolved into Fanarona, where you can capture by moving towards or away from an opponent. Up in Lapland, it became a game with a whole social ladder of kings, princes, and soldiers. And in North Africa, they still play a version called Zama on a huge 9x9 grid. It's the same basic idea, just remixed and reimagined by cultures all over the planet.
So this ancient game, a game that was once played with pebbles scraped in the dirt, has found a whole new life here in the digital age.
Yep, today, computer scientists are basically creating digital archives of these ancient games. There are these amazing efforts, like the Digital Ludemy project, which uses AI to break games like Alquerque down into their most basic building blocks, their ludemies. It's like they're mapping the DNA of games to see how they evolve.
And you know what all that AI analysis helps us appreciate? The genius of the original design. Remember how we said going first is a bad thing? Well, it's all because of this one number, 96%. At the start of a game, 96% of the board is full. There's literally nowhere to run. Conflict isn't just an option, it's guaranteed from move one.
So that simple game of checkers turns out to be holding this incredible story of history, strategy, and culture. It's proof that sometimes the most ordinary things have the most extraordinary pasts. It really makes you wonder, right? What other simple things on our shelves are hiding an epic story just like this one?